Previously on Hell Nah to Easter. Gerald and I finally kissed at McCarthy's coffee shop. Francois came out as gay and flew to France with Marnie to con his Catholic parents, and for the first time in my entire chaotic life, things seemed to be falling into place. Emphasis on seemed. It's been 3 days since Gerald and I went to the coffee shop, and we're in love. Okay, that's a bit too far, even for me. Let me rephrase. We're seeing each other. By that, I mean taking long walks through the park, holding hands like we're in a Nicholas Sparks novel, and occasionally making out in the back of his car like teenagers who just discovered hormones. Yes, I know a lady shouldn't do stuff like that with a man she's barely known for 72 hours, but listen, this guy is the most handsome man I've ever set eyes on. So dashing, so charming, he's almost prince-like. If princes drove beat-up trucks and smelled like fresh hay and cologne that cost $9.99 at Tesco. Last night, Gerald invited me to help him find a place to live locally. Now, I'm not an idiot, so I asked him point blank, "Are you asking me because you genuinely need my opinion on real estate? Or because you want somewhere we can be alone together without Shane's judgmental stare?" He paused, smiled, and said, "Both." It was almost as convincing as telling a police officer you didn't just do 100 miles an hour in a 20-mile-per-hour zone when he literally caught you red-handed with your foot still on the gas. But I let it slide because, again, ridiculously handsome. The incident, aka why I can never look Shane in the eye again. 2 hours ago, Gerald and I hooked up at my place while Shane and my mother were out shopping. And let me tell you, it was amazing. Like, I need to lie down for an hour and reconsider my life choices levels of amazing. How did he do it? I mean, I've been with men before. Not like a lot of men. I'm not running a conveyor belt operation here. But enough to know that Gerald is operating on a completely different level. It's like he took a master class or read a manual or was blessed by some sort of ancient god of, you know what? Never mind. Anyway, we were just about to go for round 3, and I mean just about to. Like, Gerald was literally mid-motion when Shane and my mother walked in. Walked in. My mother screamed. Shane covered his eyes and yelled, "Jesus, Mary, and Joseph!" Gerald froze like a deer in headlights, and I just lay there staring at the ceiling, wondering if it was possible to spontaneously combust from sheer humiliation. In their defense, serves them right. Do you know how many times I've walked in on them? At least 6. 6 times. And one of those times was in the kitchen. The kitchen! Where we eat. So you know what? We're even now. 3 weeks of bliss, aka the calm before the storm. It's been 3 weeks since Gerald and I officially became a thing. 3 weeks of dates at cozy pubs where we share fish and chips and argue about whether ketchup or vinegar is superior. It's vinegar, obviously. Kissing in his car while parked outside my house like we're rebelling against a curfew we don't have. Strolling through parks with one of Shane's dogs, a hyperactive border collie named Fergus who refuses to walk in a straight line. Flying to Liverpool for a concert. Some indie band Gerald loves, and I pretended to know their songs, but absolutely did not. It's safe to say I'm in love with Gerald. Actually, no, scratch that. I think I'm in love with Gerald. Or maybe I'm just infatuated. Or maybe I'm experiencing some sort of post-traumatic stress response to finally being treated well by a man. Oh, I don't know. I've never been good at this. What even is love? It's like that podcast, What is Love by the Love Podcast, that everyone keeps telling me to listen to, but I haven't actually done because I'm too busy spiraling. Or is it like what my mom and dad had before everything fell apart and we fled to Ireland in the dead of night? Because if it's the latter, I want no part of it. The restaurant, aka where everything falls apart. We're at a restaurant. A nice restaurant, the kind with cloth napkins and waiters who refill your water before you even ask. Gerald looks impossibly handsome in a navy button down that makes his eyes look even bluer than usual. He's smiling at me across the table, and I should be happy. I should be, but I'm not. Because for the last 3 hours, all I've been able to think about is, what if I repeat what my parents did? What if Gerald and I fall in love, get married, have kids, and then one day he wakes up and decides he doesn't love me anymore? What if I end up like my mother, packing a suitcase in the middle of the night, dragging a crying child across an ocean, starting over in a country where everyone talks too fast and the weather is always terrible? What if I'm not built for this? What if I'm fundamentally broken? And then I notice it. There's something bulging in Gerald's jacket pocket. A square box. A small, square, suspiciously ring-sized box. Oh, God. Oh, God! No, 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 no. The panic. Gerald is looking at me with this soft, adoring smile, and I feel like I'm in a plane that's hit turbulence. We're riding along, everything's fine, and then suddenly we're rattling and shaking and dropping altitude, and the only solution is to wake up the pilot and make sure he gets us home safely, except I'm the pilot, and I'm either drunk or stone cold unconscious. Gerald clears his throat. Hey, can I say something? Sure, I croak, gripping the edge of the table like it's a life raft. I wanted to tell you how much I've really gotten to like you. For who you are. Not who you think you should be, but you. The real you. Oh, God, he's doing a speech. And over these past few weeks, I've started to care about you in a way I didn't think was possible. I can't imagine my future without you in it. He reaches into his jacket pocket. An image flashes in my mind. My parents screaming at each other in our old house in America. Another image. My mother driving us away in the middle of the night, my father's voice echoing behind us. Another image. Gerald and me 10 years from now, standing in this exact same restaurant, but this time we're yelling and I'm crying and everything is falling apart. If I didn't know better, Gerald continues, pulling out the box, I'd say this is moving too fast. But sometimes you just know. You know? He opens the box. I stand up. He stands up. Please sit down, he says gently. I have something important to ask you. And that's when I kick off my heels and run. Full speed, through the restaurant, past the shocked waiters, past the couple at table 7 who are mid-proposal themselves. Sorry, guys. Out the door. Into the street. I don't stop running until I'm 3 blocks away, barefoot, panting, and absolutely certain I've just made the worst mistake of my life. Back at the restaurant. Gerald is still standing there. In his hand, a ring. Not an engagement ring, a key ring, with a single key attached. The key to the flat he just rented. The one we looked at together last week. The one he wanted to surprise me with because he thought it would be romantic. He wasn't proposing. He was asking me to move in with him. And I just sprinted out of a 5-star restaurant like I was being chased by the Guardie. To be continued? Will I ever recover from this humiliation? Will Gerald forgive me for thinking he was proposing after 3 weeks? Will I ever be able to show my face in that restaurant again? And more importantly, will I ever stop self-sabotaging every good thing that happens to me? Ah, find out in episode 6 of Hell Not Easter. Spoiler alert, probably not. Stay tuned.